What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're having a great one today. As always, we're looking at a fun one from Giant Toy, and if you haven't ordered anything from Giant Toy in the past or heard me talk about them, they surround everything in like a plus. At this point, it's like a +2 magical packing armor. So you really got to like go to war with these things to actually get it out. I've cut a decent amount of it off already. And, yep, still a bit of a struggle. Anyway, we're going to work at wiggling this fella out. Holy moly. Okay, almost there. Almost there. So this is a probably my second, maybe third set that I've gotten from Super Duck Toys. Almost there. You might be able to tell by that who it is. There we go. We're taking a look at the wonderful Sakura from Street Fighter. I was not a huge fan of this head sculpt when I saw it, but I really liked my iconic Ryu figure, and I thought I needed his little apprentice to go with it. I'm pretty sure I did that to the package while squeezing it to get it open. Not the end of the world. If you haven't gotten anything from Super Duck, they're pretty straightforward. You get the head, you get the costume. In this case, you'll probably get hands and feet, but then you end up buying your own little body and piecing it all together. Now, anytime you order from a reputable place, they're going to give you a recommendation on which body to get. And in this case, it was from Giant Toy. They recommended the phicen S22A. So hopefully this will all fit. Got some fun little chucks for her there. And we will get it all on and go from there. All right. So you do get a decent amount of stuff all together. Really, it's a pretty straightforward wardrobe, so that's kind of nice. This should basically just be the top and bottom. You got our shoes there. Do give you a bunch of different hand sculpts, which is fun. Take a quick look at one of these. Really kind of basic. This might look a little, not to throw shade at Super Duck, but just the Ryu that Iconic made is amazing. This might be a little underwhelming standing side by side. It's tough to say. It'll be interesting to see them actually together, but just looking at the hand sculpt, my initial thought is like, yeah, Iconic's is a lot better. And that shouldn't really be a surprise. Iconic did an amazing job with their Ryu. Not that Super Duck didn't do a great job with this, but... okay, maybe they didn't do an amazing job with this. I'm going to call it like I see it. There's not a very great head sculpt. Now, to be fair... I guess it almost matches that. I mean, I'm gonna know who it is. Ugh. You're gonna be able to identify it pretty easily by the outfit and all of that good stuff, but personal opinion, they did not really do a great job with this. Yikes. How does that get in there? There we go. It is going to match the body, at least. I could tell just by the skin tone that it'll be a good match in that regard, but that's just not a very appealing face. Not the worst I've seen, but definitely not the best either. So this should be undergarments, yep, and her undershirt. I'm assuming these are socks. I honestly don't think she really wears any, but yeah, we'll have those at least. So I'm going to go ahead Yeah, you can't really see. Oh, there's a tiny bit of blue there. So yeah, those are the socks for. I'm going to go ahead and get everything pieced together on the body. We'll take a quick look at how it is and wrap it up from there. Cost-wise, she was, I believe, about $80 for the set, which and then with the body, you end up being around the $140, $150 range. I'm going to be honest. I would say skip it. This is not the greatest of Sakura sculpts I've ever seen. Really not even close. I guess, honestly, on a shelf at a distance, it's not going to be terrible, but I just don't like what they did with her hair. A little too poofy. I digress. We'll see what she looks like once she's on a body. Maybe it'll change my mind. All right, so I've gotten her all dialed up, and there's some stuff I don't like about it. There's some stuff I do like about it. I'm going to try my best to cover everything. And literally cover everything. So one of the things with phicen bodies, they are anatomically correct. The way the skirt hangs on this one, you get a glimpse of her depending on what she's doing, which is typical for Street Fighter, but kind of wish they would have made it a teeny bit longer. So the shoes we're going to do a quick close-up of. They are fabric. They actually did a canvas shoe on them, which I thought was cool. These were easy to get on for the most part. I have to tie up and trim the laces, obviously. But I do wish they would have done a hard plastic just because I think it would have been a bit more stable, especially for standing up. The white shirt here I absolutely hate. It is a bit see-through. You can kind of see the red underneath it, not the end of the world. But putting it on was obnoxiously difficult, and unfortunately I ended up ripping mine. Not too big of a deal. It's in her armpit, never going to be noticed, but if it happened to me, it can happen to anyone. I am clumsy and carefree with a lot of this stuff, so, if you're delicate, probably not going to be an issue. They did actually wire her tie, which was nice, and they also wired whatever the little collar thing is. I don't know the official name for that, but that is fully wired as well, so you can kind of have that blowing around any which way you want. Sadly, they did not wire her skirt, though, so I thought that was a bit strange. You're going to be able to have that kind of blowing, but not the skirt. Now, the body in general, they did do a really good pick for, as you can kind of see with the hands. Really just good matchup on the skin tone. The S22A was very good choice in that regard, but it did make putting this part on terrible. The other thing, you notice that she's headless. And this is a pretty big fail. So I'll go ahead and put the head on just so you can see what it looks like, but it's got this plug inside of it. There is no way that this plug is going to fit onto that. So I dug the plug out thinking maybe I could just have her on with this. It'll rest on there, but not in any stable fashion. I guess you could probably blue tack it into place just as like a temporary fix. If you want to see what she kind of looks like, I'm going to hold her like a baby there. You can give her a little kiss. Okay. Color-wise, it does match up really well. I just am going to need to get a different adapter for the inside of her head, which I don't think I have handy. The other issue that I ran into was putting the hands on, which again, I'm not going to fault them too much for, but I did actually have a unique issue with this one. You might be able to see it. I actually ripped it a little bit when I was trying to put it on, which is strange because it's plastic, but it actually broke the hand a little bit. Not a big deal by any means, but just something to be mindful of, that the hands are a little bit trickier to get on than some of the other ones. So overall, I do really like the actual outfit in a lot of ways. I think the color scheme is perfect. And as a Sakura player over many, many games, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 specifically, she was kind of my go-to for when I was just having fun and not really trying. I am very happy to have one in my collection, but for most people, I would say skip it. We're probably never going to get one from Iconic. We might get another one from a different third company, so possibly worth looking out for. And honestly, it's not terrible. It's just there's a lot to be desired with it. Also, a small complaint, she doesn't have... Those are the only two different hand styles that she has, so she can't do a hadouken or her Dragon Punch. I guess you could kind of pose her in her Dragon Punch, but definitely no Hadouken, which is kind of sad. So that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much as always. We'll see you next time.